Jessica from Team Impact. Today we have our esteemed guest, Mr. Gopalakrishna, who is the co-founder of Cognida.ai. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
It's a great pleasure for us to have you on this session and to interact with you, sir. Let me dive into the questions. So from your profile, I was curious, how does your normal work day look like?
I would say, rather than think of it as a work day, a work week is possibly a better way to look at it. I would possibly say in a work week of say 40 hours, but in a startup it's much more than that actually. But if I were to try and break it up, I would say I would take at least 20% of my time to learn new things. Whether it is every day or every one day in a week, I block some time. I spend a fair amount of time in trying to learn something new.
You see 20% of the time in 40 hours?
20% of my time in 40 hours.
That's wonderful.
In this industry, unless you keep up with what is happening, it's going to be difficult. And it's not only about reading, right? So doing a lot of research, what is happening in the market, what are customers looking for as a solution to problems. All of that also forms part of my learning, right? So it's not only about sitting and reading a book. So I would say about 20% of my time goes in that. I would say about another 20% of my time possibly is spent mentoring younger employees that have joined the organization. So I would spend time, run some exercises along with them that will help to teach different aspects that they not have been taught in a college setting. So something that's more from a corporate setting, whatever is important. So I would spend time with them, and once they become, once they complete their internship and become part of employees, then guide them on different things, whether it is projects that they're executing and so on. So a good percent of time goes in that. As my boss used to say, a good percent of my time is also spent on thinking. So that's essentially to look ahead in terms of what is happening. In my role, it's important for me to understand what is happening in the industry, where things are going, how do we need to take our products to market, our solutions to market, So in ice hockey, there is a term that they use saying that you don't go after the hockey puck, as they call it. So you don't go to where the puck is, you go to where the puck is likely to be. So in a way, that's what we are looking at. So take a cricket analogy. You don't want to be where the ball, or don't want to be chasing the ball. You want to be where the ball is already going to be. Right? So that's the philosophy in trying to think, see what we should be doing so that we are there when a customer needs those kind of solutions. Rest of the time is teamwork, whether it is managing projects, whether it is writing code, and I still write code, so time to spend.
I love the way you put the philosophy of thinking, sir. Like instead of chasing the ball, you have to be where it's going to be. That's something very much unique and it's very much new to learn, sir. Moving on to the next question. Along your way, right now you are the co-founder of Cognida.ai. So what is the birth story of this?
Interesting thing that you should ask, because most startups are typically people who are just passed out of college, got a great idea, and looking to build something new.
True, sir.
In our case, it was, if you see, all the founders of the organization are people who have worked in the industry for almost 25 years.
Wow.
And the other unique thing is pretty much all of us as founders have worked for more than 20 years together. So we all know each other. In fact, our families know each other. Our kids were born around the same time, they were born to colleges. Some of them have gone to the same college, same class. So it's more like a family than as a business institution. Why we started this was we had worked together. We were part of a small company called Sierra Atlantic, which was bought over by Hitachi Consulting. So we were in Hitachi Consulting together. We had worked for 20 years. And we knew pretty much every aspect. All of us had worked on different parts of running the organization. And then we thought, why not we run an organization for ourselves instead of working for somebody else, and also focus on some new age technologies. And that is where, before even ChatGPT and other things made AI so popular, our company's name as Cognida.ai was conceived 1 year before ChatGPT became popular, right? So
That's wonderful, sir.
So the idea was that the future technologies are what are going to make a lot of difference. So focus on those technologies and make a mark in the world. Plus the other really important thing as to why we have formed this company is that our goal is not to make money. Money will come. Our goal is to make a million smiles. So we are very grateful to what this world has given us, this country, this system has given us, and we want to give back. So our idea is that we need to find people who require assistance in many forms. It could be in the form of education, it could be in the form of getting them or helping them with specific areas, and make sure that we make a difference to their lives that brings a smile on their faces. And we want to find a million such families on whose faces we can put a smile.
So the first story sounds really wholesome and lovely. It's really wonderful. And along this way, like you transitioned from working under an organization to starting your own with your own colleagues. What obstacles did you face and how did you overcome them?
I would say, I think, obstacle-wise, the biggest thing you need to get is a buy-in from your family, right? And that was absolutely no hassle for pretty much all of us. And the families also, since they had known all of us to work together, it was very easy for them. Oh, you're going to be working with these people again in forming a company. That was the easy part. The obstacles came in the form of finding the right product that we need to take to market, and that's not an easy job, right? So you think you have worked in the industry for 30 years and you have a lot of knowledge about stuff. All of that goes out of the window. And when you're working in an organization like Hitachi, you tend to take a lot of things for granted. But when you go to a startup, right from finding a pencil somewhere to stapling your own things or getting your own coffee, everything is something that you have to do on your own, right? So from setting up the first machine, the server, creating the login IDs, everything you have to do on your own. Nobody is going to be there to do anything for you. And that is something that you need to learn and overcome. And as you gradually start looking at, you'll face million challenges. How do you make the first payroll? Because the biggest challenge is how do you get people to trust in you and join the organization? 8 of us together is fine, but the 9th person who's going to join has to trust that we are serious about this as a company, that they are risking their career to come and join us. So convincing the 9th person, the 10th person, all the other people to come and join as a startup is going to be a big challenge.
But you overcame it successfully.
Partly also because a number of first set of people who joined us were people who had worked along with us, and many of them, to their credit, didn't even hesitate and said, "Okay, when do I come and join?" So they didn't ask about what salary they are going to get. Nothing. They said, "Okay, you just tell us when we can come and join." And that, I think, is part of what makes the culture, and that's the thing, right? So 20 years when we had worked together, we built a culture in that organization, and we knew that people loved that kind of a culture, and they were sure that we would replicate or make it even better in a new organization. And that culture is what makes a lot of people come and join.
That level of trust and bond is something truly fantastic, sir. My last question is, what advice would you give to young individuals who want to pursue the same as you?
I think the biggest thing that they can do is learn. This is an opportunity. I mean, most people tend to think of 4 years of college and something that their parents have put them into, they have to study and so on. studying is not what you should be doing, learning is what you should be doing. And when you learn, make sure that you understand the concepts. I was talking during the session. When we go for campus interviews, one of the things that we notice is when we ask questions, they say, no, this subject is something that we learned in second year, first year, and I don't know. But that means you didn't learn, you just studied for the sake of marks. At this age now, if somebody comes and asks me about the basics of operating systems, I should be able to tell. And that's how deeply the concept should be embedded within and within students. That ability to learn, to be able to understand the fundamental concepts of what they are working on is critical for them to have a successful career. I'll give you one more anecdote. When I first went for my job, I said, okay, it's an organization they will have. I will be working on a computer. So when I walk in, the person whom I was assigned told me that, okay, you find your computer there. I go in there and it's just an empty box. I said, this is just an empty box. I said, yeah, whatever you need are in those cardboard boxes out there or in the shelves there. Go, assemble and do everything they put together your own machines. So when I started off, there was nothing ready available to me. I had to assemble the machines right from inserting the memory chips onwards to screwing up, putting the screws on the box.
You did it from
We had to do it. Everybody had to do it from scratch. So, when you are confident about the subject, when you know the basics and concepts of the subject, doing something like that would not at all be easy. I'm fairly confident that today's students, most of them haven't even opened their laptops, of course, the worry is there whether I'll damage the laptop, but you wouldn't even have possibly what is there inside. And identifying which is the processor itself might be a big challenge for a lot of people.
True, sir.
So I think that's where it's critical to know the most underlying things and the concepts of the subject that you're studying.